Here we're just practicing some more takeoffs and landings and reiterating, going over how the helicopter is going to feel completely different once I got out the helicopter, especially as explained to Sarah that she is very light. So it will sit far more tail down and nose up, and the cycle is going to feel like it's moved a lot further forward than what she's used to. In reality, it's only a small amount, but it by now Sarah's become so attuned to the helicopter that even just a few centimetres movement on the cycle, it feels like an awful lot. And then I'm just sort of breaking up the takeoffs and landings by just getting to do just a small manoeuvre, a bit like a spot turn, just to reposition, and also to find a place that she's comfortable on the north side grass at Elstree. It's not very obvious from the video, but it's almost an entire slope. The way we're looking at the moment, it slopes away from us and slightly off to the left. That slope to the left is quite useful because the R44 hangs left skid low. And then here with these hand signals, I'm just reminding her that once she's completed her circuit, that if she comes over and finds that landing spot that she took off from, because she'll remember how it felt, and not to fly at the ground but to fly over it first. Compose herself, relax, looking ahead, then gently feel the aircraft down. And then we're just going to practice now a couple of, what if you land and it just doesn't feel quite right? Well, once the skids are touching the ground, it's that emphasis on just keep putting the collective lever down. Don't be tempted to lift it back up again. Just carefully but positively keep putting the collective lever down. Gravity will take over and it will keep the helicopter on the ground, because it is going to feel different for her. It is going to land on the back of the skids first and gently rock forward. And occasionally solo students think that the helicopter is almost going to tip over forwards, and it isn't. It's just an illusion. They've just got to get used to it. We kept reminding, you've got to discover all this for yourself, Sarah, by yourself. I'm going to be out the helicopter. It's you flying it, not me. So she's just having one last go, just to make sure that she's happy as well as me. Yep, she's been doing a superb job. We've been talking about, I'm going to be outside. I've got a handheld radio so I can hear what's going on. I can sort of be her eyes and ears as well, just to give her a little bit of assistance. It's more, to be honest, it's more reassurance than anything else. I've got no control over the helicopter once we're outside. But it's nice for them to sort of know that they've still got that contact if they really did need to speak to us. That's why I'm waving all my arms around. So here you can see me just reminding her one last time where the cyclic is going to be in a different position. It's going to be further forward than what she's used to. Still off to the left slightly, further forward, but that is only a starting point. That is not necessarily the place to keep the cyclic. She's going to have to just gently keep feeling, watching that aircraft, how it's responding to her movements. And there I'm reminding her that even though I've got out, and so of course the helicopter is not as heavy on the left hand side, it should still lift her side first, only slightly, only just a tiny amount, but it will lift right skid first before the left skid. If it lifts the left skid at all, then no, put the collective down and start all over again. And we sort of practice this routine many times, it's not just a once over, so the students there in this case gets very used to the kind of the routine that we expect. And I think that's exactly what it becomes then, that sort of first solo is almost like it's a major event, but it's almost a non-event because it's exactly as you were expecting, rather than full of hidden surprises. Again, just reminding her, come back to this point in the hover, relax, make sure you're lovely and steady, then just like you normally do, gently down you go. If you don't like it, go back up again. And if for any reason we talk about, what if you're a little bit wobbly because you're a bit nervous or something, then just go around the circuit again. Go and relax, get yourself composed, get used to the feel of it, and when you're ready, land the helicopter. There's me. I'm just talking on the radio now to the control tower, just letting them know that as pre-planned, I'm going to be getting out the helicopter in a moment. And student first solo and surname because it's a change of captain, and that she'll give the call when ready to lift. Because although the helicopter's still running, in essence it's now a completely new separate flight. So new pilot, new captain, one person on board. So I'm just asking her to tell me what the helicopter meter is, because it's got to be entered into the technical log of the aircraft as a separate flight now. So I have to take down the meter, the DATCON in the helicopter, the actual time, fuel quantities, all those sorts of things. One last good luck, enjoy it, relax, see you in a minute. And then that moment where the students, I don't think dread is necessarily the right word, but there's almost that kind of, oh my gosh, I really am going to be on my own, and then that, wow, I'm going to be on my own. There we go, that's it, she's on her own now. One of the reasons why I'd stand in front of the helicopter is it's not so I've got some sort of necessary control over the aircraft. It's really just to encourage the, in this case Sarah, to make sure she is looking outside and not inside the cockpit. It's so important that she looks ahead to see what the helicopter's doing as it tries to come off the ground, as she can watch it, feel it, find that lovely balance equilibrium point as she's gently teasing it off the ground, and not to just commit to 3, 2, 1 go, just get it off the ground. It really is just slowly peeling the aircraft off the ground to find that new way it's going to fly. So I'm just looking around at the moment, making sure I can't see any reason why she shouldn't attempt this now. So there's no distractions. You can see off in the distance on the sort of top left hand corner of the screen there, blue R44. That's an instructor and a student, and they know to sort of keep out of the way. Again, just so there's no distraction, there's no surprises. It's all looking good by now. I mean, we can't hear it, but Sarah would have done the call to the tower just to let them know that she's ready to lift. They'll have spoken back to her. And she's just going to go through that process. Routine. She'd be checking the helicopter on the inside, making sure there's no signs of any warning lights, etc. All looking good inside, satisfying herself that it's absolutely fine for it to get off the ground. Looking around her, making sure that she's aware of her surroundings. And then just taking her time. So it'll seem like ages, but she's just, rather than just 3, 2, 1, pulling up on that collective lever, she's just gently, slowly, being aware that as soon as she lifts that lever, because the aircraft is that much lighter now, it could try and get off the ground at any moment. So just tentatively, slowly, just lifting the collective. You can see her moving the cyclic now, seeing if it's responding, and it's not yet up. There's a tiny bit there. It's just beginning to sort of rock forwards and backwards, so she knows it's getting lighter already. So she's just slowly, gently, taking the time. You can see me move my arms upwards. That's me just suggesting that as far as I can tell, it looks okay, but I always remind it is you, it's the student, it's you're the one that's flying it, not me, but as far as I can tell, it looks alright. And again, it's just to encourage them to ensure they're looking up outside in front, not staring inside the cockpit. And there she goes, into the hover. Just finding her stability, there we are. Looking good. Well done.